Welcome back to our channel, where we explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we have an exciting topic that will surely grab your attention: ultra-rare, low-mintage Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins. These incredible coins have made a huge impact on the coin collecting market, not only because of their unique history, but also because of their significant market value in dollars today. So let's get started. First up, we're diving deep into the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1972, specifically the one with the Denver Mint mark, or D Mint mark, and an intriguing green shade. What makes this seemingly ordinary coin stand out, and how much is it worth in today's collector's market? Stick around to find out the surprising value of this 5-cent piece. Before we dive into the details of the 1972 with D Jefferson nickel, let's first take a look at the history behind the Jefferson nickel itself. This iconic coin was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and has remained in circulation ever since. The coin's design honors one of America's founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson, and features a profile of him on the obverse side. The reverse side showcases his home, Monticello, an iconic structure that has become synonymous with Jefferson's legacy. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel has seen only minor changes since its initial release. But coins from specific years, especially those with unique features like mint marks or condition variations, are highly sought after by collectors. The 1972 with D Jefferson nickel comes from the Denver Mint, as signified by the small d located on the coin's reverse side to the right of Monticello. While limited of these nickels were produced, certain factors make some of them much more valuable coins. In very fine condition, one of the key factors collectors look for is the overall preservation of the coin. But what truly makes this particular 1972 with D Jefferson nickel stand out is its green shading. This green patina is usually the result of the nickel alloy reacting with environmental elements over time, giving it a unique appearance. Although discoloration often reduces a coin's value, in this case, the even and aesthetically pleasing green tone has caught the attention of collectors. Coins that develop such distinct toning in a visually appealing way often become more valuable due to their rarity and beauty. This green hue sets this coin apart from the average nickel, making it a unique addition to any collection. When it comes to the value of any coin, condition is everything. The 1972 with D Jefferson nickel in question here is graded as very fine, meaning there is light to moderate wear on the high points of the design. You can still see all of the major details clearly, although some finer elements may show slight smoothing. In this condition, collectors can appreciate the details on both Jefferson's portrait and the Monticello building, with minimal detracting damage. The green shading, in this case, adds an element of uniqueness without affecting the readability of the details. Now, let's get into the big question: what is this green shaded, very fine condition 1972 with D Jefferson nickel worth today? In the coin collector's market, prices can fluctuate depending on demand, rarity, and condition. However, when you add the green patina and the unique toning, the value can increase significantly. Collectors who seek out tone coins with rare coloring are willing to pay a premium. This particular coin could fetch anywhere between $400,000 depending on the buyer and how well the green toning enhances the overall look of the coin. Some toned nickels, particularly those with rare and desirable colors like green, blue, black, or purple, have even sold for big value. While the final value depends on how the market responds to this specific coin, it's safe to say that this green-shaded 1972 with D Jefferson nickel has a collector market value very well above. If you're looking to add a 1972 with D Jefferson nickel to your collection, or any nickel for that matter, here are a few things to keep in mind. The D Mint mark from Denver or the S from San Francisco can often increase value. Coins in very fine or better condition are always more valuable. So look for coins with minimal wear. Unique toning, like the green patina we've discussed today, can add significant value, especially if it's aesthetically pleasing. Always check how rare the specific year and mint mark combination is. Low mintage years are more valuable. Coins with minting errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, can fetch a higher price. The 1972 with D Jefferson nickel may seem like just another coin, but when you consider the unique green shading and the coin's overall condition, it becomes a fascinating piece with real collector value. Whether you're new to coin collecting or an experienced numismatist, it's always exciting to discover how seemingly small details like toning or mint marks can transform a coin into a valuable asset. Have you come across a Jefferson nickel with unique toning? Or do you have one from 1972 with D Mint mark? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, a very special coin that might surprise you with its potential value: the 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P Mint mark in MS35 condition. That's right, you could be holding a big treasure without even knowing it. Before we get into the value, let's talk a little bit about the Monticello Jefferson nickel itself. This 5-cent coin has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1938, featuring President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, or front, and his famous estate, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin we are focusing on today was minted in 1995 and has P Mint mark, indicating that it was produced in Philadelphia. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular coin special? Why are collectors so interested in the 1995 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark? Well, it all comes down to the coin's condition, rarity, and overall appeal. The specific coin we are talking about is graded MS35, which stands for Mint State 35. This means that the coin is in fairly good condition, with some minor signs of wear but still retaining most of its original details and luster. Coins graded in this range are quite desirable for collectors. The MS, or Mint State, grading scale ranges from MS60 to MS70 for the highest quality coins, but anything in the MS range can still hold significant value. An MS35 coin shows that it hasn't been heavily circulated, making it a key piece for collectors who are searching for higher grade nickels. While Mississippi 35 is slightly below the higher uncirculated range, it is still considered quite collectible. So, how much can this coin be worth in today's collector market? Well, you might be surprised. The market for Jefferson nickels, especially those in good condition with low mintages or specific variations, has grown significantly over the years. As of today, a 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in MS35 condition could fetch anywhere from $180,000, depending on the buyer and market demand. The value also varies based on factors like rarity, how many of these coins in MS35 condition are still out there, and the overall interest in Jefferson nickels within the coin collecting community, as we've seen over the years. Certain coins can dramatically increase in value as collector interest grows. Now, if you're thinking about selling your 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, always make sure your coin is properly graded, having it authenticated, and graded by a professional service can increase its marketability and value. Secondly, proper storage is key to preserving the coin's condition. Keep it in a protective case or holder to prevent scratches and other damage. You might be wondering how much difference condition makes. Take a look at these two examples. The coin on the left is heavily worn and has lost most of its fine details, while the coin on the right, graded at MS35, still retains a lot of its original luster. The coin in better condition will always fetch a higher price, even if it's from the same year and mint. So, there you have it. The 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in MS35 condition is a great example of a modern coin that holds significant value for collectors. Whether you're new to coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, keep an eye out for this one. It could turn out to be a valuable addition to your collection. Next up, we're diving into the world of an often overlooked but potentially valuable coin, the 1960 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel. This particular coin, with its unique greenish shade and rich history, could hold big value in today's collector market. If you've got one of these in your collection or stumbled upon one in pocket change, stay tuned. This could be your hidden treasure. To truly appreciate the value of the 1960 with D Jefferson nickel, we first need to understand its history and design. The Jefferson nickel series, introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel. It features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, designed by artist Felix Schlag. On the reverse, we have Jefferson's historic home Monticello, an iconic symbol of American history. In 1960, the Denver Mint produced limited Jefferson nickels, making this an uncommon coin in circulation. However, certain factors can make specific coins like this one stand out in terms of collector value. One such factor is the mint mark. The D mark indicates that it was minted in Denver, and today, coins with specific characteristics can fetch a premium. But what makes this 1960 with D Jefferson nickel particularly interesting is its unusual greenish shade. Over time, some coins, especially those made of nickel and copper, can develop what's called a patina. This is a thin layer of tarnish that can form on the surface due to environmental exposure. Air, moisture, and other elements interact with the metal, giving it a distinct color. In this case, the green shade may indicate that the coin has been exposed to certain conditions that give it this fascinating look. Collectors often seek out coins with unique characteristics like this, and sometimes, these variations can significantly raise a coin's value, especially if it's still in good condition. So, you may be wondering, what does very fine condition mean? In coin collecting, a grading system is used to determine the quality and value of a coin. Very fine is a mid-tier grade, meaning the coin has light to moderate wear but still retains a lot of its details. For a 1960 with D Jefferson nickel in this condition, you should still see sharp details in Jefferson's hair, and the Monticello building on the reverse should show its architectural lines clearly, though there may be some smoothing on the highest points. In very fine condition, the coin's value increases compared to more heavily worn coins. Combined with the greenish shade, this unique version of the nickel could catch the eye of specialized collectors. Now, let's talk about the big question: what's the value of a 1960 with D Jefferson nickel in very fine condition today, especially with its unusual green shade? In general, standard Jefferson nickels from 1960 are particularly rare, so you might not expect a high value initially. However, When we look at coins that have unique characteristics like the greenish patina we're discussing, it's a whole different ballgame. These coins with unique toning or patina, especially if they're in better conditions, have been known to sell for $420,000 or even more in specialized Bayer. The exact price depends on the demand and rarity of that specific characteristic. So if you have a 1960 with D Jefferson nickel that has developed a greenish patina, it's worth getting it evaluated by a coin expert. Its value could be much higher than the standard range if a collector is looking for a uniquely toned coin to add to their set. Jefferson nickels, though often overlooked compared to more famous coins like the Lincoln penny or the Washington quarter, have a dedicated following among collectors. They're relatively not easy to find, which makes them an excellent series for beginner collectors. Yet, specific dates and mints, especially with unique conditions like this green-toned 1960 with D, offer opportunities for more advanced collectors to hunt for rare variations. It's that blend of accessibility and potential hidden value that makes Jefferson nickels so special. For coins like this 1960 with D, their story, their wear, and even their patina tell a story that can be worth more than you might think. So, what should you do if you've got a 1960 with D Jefferson nickel with a unique green patina or in very fine condition? First, take a close look at its details, check for wear, and make sure the green shade. You might want to clean the coin gently, but be careful. Over-cleaning can actually lower a coin's value. Next, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service. Grading can help verify its condition and any unique characteristics, which can dramatically increase its value if you're planning to sell. Finally, keep an eye on online coin forums, where collectors might be looking for just what you have. So whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, don't overlook your nickels. That 1960 with D Monticello Jefferson nickel with its green shade could be worth more. Always remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story can add big value to your collection. Next up, we're diving deep into one of America's iconic pieces of numismatic history, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1946 with the S mint mark. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just starting your coin journey, you won't want to miss the incredible details about this rare coin and its big market value today. This seemingly humble nickel has been rising in popularity among collectors for years. But what exactly makes the 1946 with S Jefferson nickel in very fine condition so special? And why is it commanding such impressive value in today's market? Let's dive in. To understand the value of the 1946 with S Jefferson nickel, we first need to look at its historical background. World War II had just ended, and America was in a period of reconstruction and growth. Coins minted in the aftermath of the war were heavily circulated, which means many of them were lost to wear and tear over the years. The Jefferson nickel itself debuted in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It featured a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the front, or obverse, and his famous estate Monticello on the back, or reverse. By 1946, production of nickels had returned to using 75% copper and 25% nickel, after being briefly interrupted during the war years when the U.S. government needed nickel for wartime efforts. Now, let's talk about the all-important S mint mark. This S tells us that the coin was minted at the San Francisco Mint, which in 1946 produced far fewer Jefferson nickels compared to other mints. This lower mintage makes the 1946 with S variety significantly scarcer, and collectors today place a premium on coins from smaller mints with limited production. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does very fine mean in the coin collecting world? Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 1 being barely recognizable and 70 being a flawless, mint condition piece. A very fine or VF grade means that the coin shows moderate wear, but all major details are still clearly visible. For example, on a 1946 with S Jefferson nickel, you should still be able to see strong outlines of Jefferson's hair, the pillars of the Monticello, and most key lettering on the coin. These very fine condition coins are still collectible, but not as pristine as uncirculated ones. However, even at this grade, they can fetch a surprising amount in today's market. So, let's talk numbers. What is the 1946 with S Jefferson nickel in very fine condition worth in today's coin market? As of today, the collector value of this coin can range anywhere from $350,000 in very fine condition. This may seem like a fortune. Remember that many of these coins were minted in small numbers and heavily circulated, so finding one in better condition adds to its value. But that's not all. Depending on the overall condition and demand, the value of the 1946 with S nickel could increase, especially as collectors look to complete their Jefferson nickel sets or focus on rarer mint marks like the San Francisco issues. For those looking to invest long-term, coins like the 1946 with S could continue to appreciate in value as time goes on, particularly those in higher grades like extremely fine or mint state. If you're lucky enough to have a 1946 with S Jefferson nickel, here are some key tips to maximize its value. Handle with care. Always handle coins by the edges and wear gloves if possible to avoid oils from your skin damaging the coin's surface. store your coins in proper holders or albums to protect them from dust, moisture, and air that can lead to corrosion. If you believe your coin is in excellent condition, you might want to have it professionally graded by services. A graded coin often commands a higher market value. Why should you collect the 1946 with S Jefferson nickel? Simple, it's a key date in the Jefferson nickel series. The scarcity of the San Francisco minting, combined with the historical significance of post-war America, makes this coin a must-have for any serious collector. It bridges a crucial period in American history and is a tangible connection to the past. And there you have it, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1946 with the S mint mark. Whether you're collecting for passion or as a long-term investment, this nickel offers an affordable yet historically rich addition to your collection. Next up, we'll be diving into a coin that many of us have seen in circulation but might not have paid much attention to, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1995 issue with P mint mark. We're going to talk about the history, significance, and most importantly, the collector's market value of this 5-cent coin in fine condition today. Before we jump into the specifics of the 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel, let's take a quick look at the background of this coin series. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation for 25 years. The coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence, on the obverse side. The reverse side showcases Monticello, Jefferson's famous plantation home in Virginia. This design was created by Felix Schlag, a German-born American sculptor, who won a competition held by the U.S. Mint to determine the design of the new nickel. The design has undergone slight modifications over the years, but for the most part, the iconic image of Monticello has remained intact, making the Jefferson nickel one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. Now, let's focus on the specific coin we're discussing today, the 1995 Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. The P mint mark can be found on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Jefferson's portrait. This mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the largest coin-producing facilities in the world. Coins from the mid-1990s, including the 1995 Jefferson nickel, are common in circulation. However, certain factors such as their condition, rarity, and any notable errors or varieties can influence their value in the collector's market. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is key. The 1995 Jefferson nickel we're talking about today is in fine condition, according to coin grading standards. So what exactly does fine condition mean? A coin in fine condition is a well-circulated coin that shows moderate wear, but the design elements are still clearly visible. On the 1995 Jefferson nickel, in fine condition, you'll notice that Jefferson's face will have wear, but key details such as his hair, facial features, and the lettering around the edge of the coin are still readable. On the reverse, Monticello's details might be slightly worn, but the overall structure and inscriptions remain identifiable. While a fine condition coin won't fetch the same price as a coin in uncirculated or mint condition, it still holds value for collectors, especially those looking to complete a Jefferson nickel set. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the market value of the 1995 Monticello Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in fine condition. However, that's not the end of the story. For collectors, even modern coins like the 1995 nickel can hold value beyond their face value. Factors like demand, errors, and varieties can drive up prices. In the case of a standard 1995 Jefferson nickel in fine condition, you're generally looking at a value $100,000. It does have a premium over its face value, especially when sold in bulk to collectors or hobbyists. Next up, we've got something really special to talk about, the Monticello Jefferson nickel from 1977 without a mint mark and in MS-30 condition. Is it valuable? What's the collector market like for this coin today? Let's dive right in. The Jefferson nickel series, first introduced in 1938, is one of the most iconic coin series in U.S. history. The Monticello design on the reverse of the coin has made it instantly recognizable to both casual collectors and numismatic enthusiasts alike. But what makes the 1977 no mint mark version in MS-30 condition stand out? Well, we're going to explore the rarity, market demand, and current value of this coin today. Let's start with some background. The Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag and replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938. This nickel features a portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his home, Monticello, on the reverse. Jefferson nickels are typically minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If you look closely at your 1977 nickel, you'll notice that there's no mint mark, meaning this coin was minted in Philadelphia. In 1977, coins produced in Philadelphia did not have a mint mark. However, collectors often seek out Philadelphia minted coins due to their historical significance and sometimes lower mintage numbers compared to other mints like Denver and San Francisco. But rarity alone doesn't necessarily translate into high market value. It all comes down to the coin's condition. So what exactly does MS30 mean? For those who may not know, MS stands for mint state, and it refers to a coin that hasn't been in circulation. These coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS70 being a perfect coin, showing no wear and pristine surfaces. MS30 is still a mint state coin, but not as flawless as higher grade coins like MS65 or MS70. It may show some contact marks, surface abrasions, or slight luster breaks, but it's far superior to circulated coins in terms of condition. Alright, now let's talk about what everyone's here for: the current market value of a 1977 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel in MS30 condition. While higher grade coins like MS65 or MS66 can fetch impressive prices, coins in MS30 condition are still desirable, especially for collectors trying to complete a set of Jefferson nickels from each year. As of today, the market for Jefferson nickels, particularly the 1977 no-mint mark variety, remains steady. In MS30 condition, this coin generally trades for $350,000, depending on the buyer and the platform. While this may seem like a massive amount, and it's important to remember that the true value of any coin isn't just about its current price. It's about the potential for appreciation and its place in a collection. Coins like these are often sought after by beginner collectors who want a mint state example of a classic US coin with breaking the bank. That demand helps keep prices steady. Also, with inflation and silver prices fluctuating, even coins without precious metal content like the Jefferson nickel can increase in value over time. And finally, completing a collection of Jefferson nickels from different years or mints can be a rewarding challenge. If you're a collector who's passionate about US coins, the 1977 Jefferson nickel is definitely a coin to keep an eye on, especially in the MS grades. Next up, we're going to take a closer look at the 1985 Monticello Jefferson nickel, minted in Philadelphia and marked with a P. We're also focusing on this coin in very fine condition to explore its collector market value and its significance in the numismatic world today. So, if you're curious about how much your 1985 Jefferson nickel might be worth, or you're interested in learning more about this iconic coin, stick around because we've got you covered. First, let's talk about the history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. This series has remained a staple of U.S. coinage for decades. The coin's obverse features the profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and the reverse showcases his home, Monticello, which is a classic architectural piece with rich history tied to Jefferson's legacy. The 1985 Monticello Jefferson nickel that we're focusing on today was minted in Philadelphia, represented by the P mint mark. Although the design of the Jefferson nickel remained relatively consistent from its inception through the late 20th century, slight variations in design, minting quality, and of course mint marks contribute to the desirability of certain dates. And that's where the 1985 P Jefferson nickel comes into play. Before we dive into its value, let's clarify what it means for a coin to be in very fine or VF condition. Coins in very fine condition typically show clear details, though some slight wear is visible on the high points of the design. Specifically, on the 1985 Jefferson nickel, you would expect to see some wear on Jefferson's hair and on Monticello's details, but overall, the design elements are still sharp and well-defined. This is a key factor when determining the value of any coin. So, how does the condition impact the value of this particular coin? Let's find out. Coins that were circulated heavily have a lot of wear and damage, so if you have one in VF condition, it retains more of its original details and will stand out to collectors who are looking for quality examples from this particular year. Now, let's get into the part you're really here for: the market value of the 1985 Monticello Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in very fine condition. While this is the rarest or most valuable nickel out there, and it still holds some interest among collectors, particularly those who are trying to complete Jefferson nickel series sets. As of today, in very fine condition, this particular coin typically sells for $200,000. Yes, that's right, in this condition. The 1985 Monticello Jefferson nickel with the P mint mark in very fine condition may bring in huge profits at the moment, and it's still an important part of U.S. coinage history. Whether you're collecting as a hobby or you're looking to invest in higher grade nickels, this coin has its place in the world of numismatics. And who knows, over time, its value could rise as fewer coins in great condition become available. Next up, we're focusing on a classic American coin, the Monticello Jefferson nickel, specifically the 1979 5-cent coin without a mint mark in very fine condition. This coin has been a staple in American pocket change for decades, and we're going to explore its collector's market value today. Before we dive into its value, let's talk a bit about the history of the Jefferson nickel. This coin was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, who won a national competition for his design featuring the likeness of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. For over 80 years, the Jefferson nickel has been one of the most circulated coins in the United States. The design has gone through some changes, especially with the obverse image of Jefferson, but for many years, the Monticello design remained iconic. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1979 Jefferson nickel. This coin was minted in large numbers, and like many modern coins, it doesn't carry an extremely high intrinsic value in terms of precious metals. It's made primarily of copper and nickel. The weight of the coin is about 5 grams, and its diameter is 21.2 millimeters. What makes this coin interesting for collectors is the condition, as well as certain variations, such as having no mint mark, which indicates that the coin was produced in Philadelphia. Coins with no mint mark are typically less rare compared to those with specific mint marks like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, but they still hold collectible value depending on their state of preservation. Before we jump into the market value, let's clarify what very fine condition means in the world of coin collecting. In this grade, you can expect the coin to show moderate wear but retain sharp details. For a 1979 Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, you will see significant details in Jefferson's hair, as well as in the Monticello building on the reverse. However, there will be noticeable wear on the high points, and the coin will have a moderate level of scratches or blemishes. Overall, it is considered a collectible grade but not one of the top tiers like extremely fine or uncirculated. Now let's get to the heart of the matter, the market value of a 1979 Monticello Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition. While this coin is particularly rare, and it still holds value for collectors, especially those looking to complete a full Jefferson nickel set by year. As of today, you can expect this coin in very fine condition to be worth $150,000 on the collector's market. While this might seem high, if you're lucky enough to find one in higher condition, that could bump up its value a bit more. Regardless, every coin tells a story, and this 1979 Jefferson nickel is no different, whether it's the design history or the memories of holding these coins over the years. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the world of coin collecting. Have you come across a 1979 Jefferson nickel? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Until next time, happy collecting.